Give this a real shot for 7 days and you might notice the overwhelm of information start to lift. Not because a notebook is magic, but it gives your thoughts a place to go. I want to show you a really simple analog writing habit that can reset your mental state and clear out some of the mental fog in your life. Some days I feel behind before I can even know why. I open my laptop, I check one message, I forget one forgotten task, and all of a sudden the thoughts are starting to pile up. And I'm sure that you can relate. It's nothing dramatic. Nothing dramatic is happening. It's just normal noise. But on the inside, it feels like I have 1,000 tabs open and I can't find the one that's making the noise. The mistake that I keep making is that I try to fix the mental clutter by thinking harder. I try and sort out everything inside of this mind that's already overwhelmed by all the information. But analog journaling gives the thoughts somewhere to go. Pen and paper slow me down just enough so that I can see what's really going on. In this video, I want to walk you through a very simple 7-day analog writing experiment for mental clarity. It is not some complicated notebook system. It's just a 3-step process you can try the next time you sit down with a pen and paper. Step 1 is the brain dump. Step 2 is the honest question about what you wrote. And step 3 is the simple task that you're going to do next. The idea is actually quite simple. It's that clarity actually comes quite easy when your thoughts have somewhere to go. You see, a cluttered mind doesn't always mean a lack of discipline. Sometimes your brain is just keeping too many loops open at once. A message, a conversation, a decision you need to make. And when all of that stays in your head, it becomes an immense cognitive weight. So the first step isn't to write something beautiful or even to write beautifully. It's to get out the mental clutter from your head and onto a page. So to achieve this, I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes and then just put on a page everything that you think of. No structure, no editing, no performing for anyone. Let me give you an example. These are some of the things that I've written in the last couple of weeks. It's been a strange month, exactly 1 month to be precise. Here's another one. I had a very strange dream, and I never dream. Here's one more. I think it was a good day. I didn't have a massive energy dip this afternoon. It's very important to understand that at this point, it doesn't need to make sense yet. We're just trying to get out all the noise from our heads and onto an external place. We're just trying to stop our minds from trying to keep everything together all at once. If you try this, you'll see that once the thoughts are out of your head, something really shifts. Typing has a way of speeding me up to the speed of my anxiety. I jump between thoughts and I start reacting instead of processing. Writing by hand slows all of that down. And the speed of this is kind of the point. Anyway, so now that everything is on a page, it's going to be very easy to treat the brain dump as the finish line, but it's not. It'll be very easy to just close the notebook and say, oh, okay, I got it out. I'm good. And don't get me wrong, that part does help. You will already feel lighter just getting everything out, but that's not where we want to end this. Because if we stop there, then that page just becomes another place to store the fog. There's no clarity yet. The second step is where we start looking for the sentence beneath the sentence, the true meaning of what we wrote down. And instead of asking, how do I fix my entire life, we're going to focus in on the details. We're going to ask, what is this page really about? For me, actually, it helps to write out that question, to write out, what is this really about? Because usually the first thing that I get on the page is only the surface layer of my emotions. What do I mean by that? Well, let me explain. If I write, I am overwhelmed, that might actually mean that I haven't taken the time to define what is really important for that day. If I write down, I'm tired, that might actually mean that I haven't been resting enough and I've been placing too much on my plate for the last week. This question is crucial because it takes the brain dump and it makes it from a release valve and it turns it into a mirror. I really want you to try this. So get everything out on the page, and then what I want you to do is to encircle or underline or highlight the most important part of that page, the part that you feel the most emotional about. Just highlight that. And then ask the question, what's that really about? And fill out the rest of the page and answer that question, what is this really about? Now you've got something you can actually use. It's not a vague cloud, it's a concrete sentence that you can work with. And once the feeling has a name, the next step becomes so easy. Step 3 is where we really have to be careful, because it's the place where we can take this amazing journal entry that we made and just make it another place to hide. What I mean is that you can write 3 pages about being stressed and still not do anything about it. So the last step is where this page actually becomes useful. Please note that step 3 is not where you plan out your entire life and create a new system for living. It's just where you decide what your next step will be, however small it is. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the information, rather than writing, I will work on not being overwhelmed, choose one thing that is causing you overwhelm in your life and replace that with something else. That's the point of the small step. It gives the clarity somewhere to go. And I want you to make it almost too simple. Make it so attainable that it's you can do it with your eyes closed. That's the whole reset. That's all it is. Get the noise out, name what's really true, and take one next step. Do that for 7 days and you'll start noticing changes. You'll start noticing what gives you energy. You'll start noticing what takes your energy. And you'll walk away with some practical things that you can actually implement into your life to fight the overwhelm of the modern world. And I just want to reiterate this. If your mind has been feeling full lately, you don't need a perfect system, a perfect plan. All you need is a couple of minutes, a pen and some paper, so that you can get the mental mess out in front of you and make sense of it. The small act of analog handwritten notes can completely change the emotional temperature of your day. For me, analog journaling is not about being more productive. It's about being more present. Try it for a week and let me know in the comments how it worked out for you. I'm genuinely curious if this works for other people as it does for me. And if this helped you, consider subscribing for more content. I made another video about some analog tools that I use to fight overwhelm. You can watch that here. Thanks for watching. Cheers.